Quick question. If someone told you that you were making financial mistakes right now, not dramatic ones, not obvious ones, but quiet, invisible ones that are costing you more than you realize, would you want to know? Of course you would. Nobody sits there thinking, I'd rather not know, thanks. And yet, most people never find out. Because these mistakes don't feel like mistakes. They feel like normal life. Today we're going through 8 of them. As we go, keep count. How many apply to you right now? No judgment, just honesty. And at the end, I want you to drop your score in the comments. Let's get into it, starting with the least damaging and building to the one that quietly costs you the most. Mistake number 1. And honestly, this one comes from a good place. You've heard stories. Someone lost money in the stock market. Someone got burned by crypto. So you decide, I'm not touching any of that. I'll just save. Safe and steady. Responsible, right? Here's the problem. While you're sitting out to avoid risk, inflation is in your savings account, helping itself to your money. Quietly. Every single year. The real risk isn't investing. It's the cost of never starting. Every year you wait is a year of compounding you'll never get back. Why it happens? Fear feels like protection. But financially, it's often the most expensive choice you can make. Start with the lowest risk option available to you. A high-yield savings account or a simple index fund. You don't need to understand everything. You need to start something. Does this one apply to you? Add a point if yes. Mistake 2. You want to save more. You intend to save more. You genuinely mean to save more. But more isn't a number. And someday isn't a date. Money without a destination is money on its way out the door. When your savings have no specific goal attached to them, no target, no timeline, no reason, they don't feel real. So they get spent on things that did have a clear immediate purpose. Why it happens? Vague goals feel safe because you can't fail them, but you also can't reach them. The fix. Pick one goal. Give it a number and a deadline. I want to save $500 in 3 months. That's it. Specific beats motivational every time. Score check. Does this one apply to you? Keep counting. Mistake 3. And this one has kept more people stuck than almost anything else on this list. I'll start saving when I earn more. I'll invest when I've paid off this debt. I'll sort out my finances when life calms down a bit. Well, life does not calm down. There is no perfect time. There is only now and later. And later is always more expensive than now, because every month you wait is a month of compounding that disappears forever. Why it happens? Starting feels big, so we wait until it feels smaller. It never does. The only thing that actually gets smaller is the time you have left. Start with whatever you have. Today, even $10 invested now is worth more than $100 invested 3 years from now. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time. Score check. Does this one apply? Be honest with yourself. Mistake 4. This one is sneaky because it sounds logical. If I just earned more, everything would be fine. Maybe? Or maybe you just have more expensive problems. The financial world is full of high earners who are completely broke. Doctors drowning in debt. Athletes who retire with nothing. People earning 3 times your salary living paycheck to paycheck. Because they made the same mistake. They focused entirely on what came in and paid no attention to what stayed. Wealth is not built by income alone. It's built by the gap between what you earn and what you keep, and what you do with that gap. Why it happens? Income feels controllable and exciting. Net worth feels complicated and slow. But net worth is the actual scoreboard. Track your net worth, not just your salary. Add up what you own, subtract what you owe. That number, growing over time, is the real measure of financial progress. Does this one apply to you? Score check. Mistake 5. And this one has a particularly uncomfortable twist at the end. Credit cards. Buy now, pay later. Personal loans for things that aren't emergencies. We borrow not because we must, but because we want to look, feel, and live a certain way right now, and the money for that isn't there yet. The problem isn't just the debt. It's the interest. Every month you carry a balance. You're paying someone else, quietly, automatically, for the privilege of spending money you didn't have. Here's the uncomfortable truth. That interest you're paying? That's someone else's passive income. You are literally funding another person's wealth while trying to build your own. Why it happens? Appearances feel urgent. Interest feels abstract. Until it doesn't. Therefore, separate wants from needs before any purchase on credit. If you can't pay it off in full next month, ask whether you'd still want it if it cost 20% more. Because it does. Does this one apply? No judgment, just keep count. Mistake 6. This one requires a definition. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket over time. A liability is something that takes money out. A new car, the moment you drive it off the lot. Liability. The latest phone you're financing. Liability. Designer items you're buying to signal success. Liability with a logo on it. None of these are wrong to want, but calling them investments, or worse, treating them as financially equivalent to things that actually grow, is where the mistake lives. The wealthy buy things that appreciate. Most people buy things that depreciate and wonder why their net worth never moves. Why it happens. Status feels like security. But status is not a balance sheet. So before any major purchase, ask one question: will this be worth more or less in 5 years? If the answer is less, it's a cost, not an investment. Buy it if you want it. Just call it what it is. Does this one land? Keep your count going. Mistake 7. And this one applies to almost everyone who has ever had a salary. Here's the standard approach. Salary arrives, rent paid, subscriptions taken, groceries bought, transport, a few things here and there. And then, if anything is left, maybe some goes into savings. The word maybe is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. Because the truth is, for most people, nothing is left. Not because they overspent dramatically, but because money without a prior claim on it always finds something to go toward. The fix to this is one of the simplest and most powerful in personal finance. Pay yourself first. The moment your salary arrives, before rent, before bills, before anything, a set amount moves into savings automatically. Then you live on what's left. Most times saving feels optional. It isn't. It just hasn't been treated as mandatory yet. Set up an automatic transfer the same day your salary arrives. Even 5 or 10%. Before you see it, before you spend it. You will not miss what you never had in hand. If this one applies, just keep count. Mistake 8. The most damaging one on this list. And if you've been watching Little Millions from the beginning, this one won't surprise you. Every other mistake on this list is fixable with time and better habits. This one is different because it's structural. It's not just what you do with money. It's where your money comes from. And right now, for most people, the answer is one place, one job, one salary, one single point of failure. If that one thing stops, illness, redundancy, company closure, any one of 100 things that happen in a real life, every other mistake on this list becomes impossible to fix because you have nothing to work with. Single income dependency doesn't just keep you poor, it keeps you fragile. And fragile people can't take the risks, make the moves, or build the things that create real financial stability. We're taught to find a job and keep it, not to build income. There's a difference, and it matters enormously. You don't need 7 income streams today. You need one extra one, and that's the beginning of financial resilience. Does this apply? If you have only one income source right now, it does. So, what's your score? If you counted 1 or 2, you're doing better than most. Fix those, and you're ahead of the curve. If you counted 3 to 5, welcome to the majority. This is completely normal and completely fixable. If you counted 6, 7, or 8, don't panic. Panic is not a financial strategy. The fact that you're watching this video means you're already doing something most people never do, paying attention. None of these mistakes are permanent. None of them require a perfect salary, a lucky break, or a complete life overhaul. They require one decision at a time, one fix at a time. Pick the mistake on this list that stings the most. Just one, and do something about it this week. Not all of them. 1. Drop your score in the comments. I genuinely want to know. And if this video named something you've been feeling but couldn't identify, share it. Someone you know is making the same mistakes and has no idea.